Hi everybody, welcome back. This week we're diving into a little bit of social media strategy and we're talking about Facebook business pages. So if you're ready to learn how to maximize this marketing tool for your practice, stay tuned. All right, so I bet you'll agree with me when I say that the first online marketing tool that many clinicians invest in and invest their time in is their Facebook business page. It's really easy to set up, and it's kind of, one of the no-brainer first things to do when you start having a social media presence for your practice. What's great about Facebook business pages is that they function almost like an online business card or a mini website in the sense that you can pack a lot of information into them. You can pack in your website address, you can pack in your phone number, your hours, you can have a map to the location of your office, you can have all kinds of details right there on your Facebook business page. So if your client's already, scrolling through and they want to go and check you out, or they want to remember what your hours are or your phone number, they can find it right there. The problem though, however, is that a lot of therapists treat it as such, as just this online business card, and just kind of set it up once and forget it. The problem with that is that Facebook, much like Psychology Today, is a large website and it will actually show up in search. You can be searched for your Facebook business page. And often when people type in your name or your practice name, your Facebook business page will come up even before your website. So you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of that, in the sense that being on having a Facebook business page can almost be similar to being on a directory. All right, and I'm going to teach you the tricks to make sure that your Facebook page is working for you and is showing up like this, so that people can find you and click over and ultimately find your big website. But what I first want to talk to you about is what isn't working for Facebook pages anymore, and some of the practices that are outdated or old. So let's start there with what you shouldn't be doing, and then we'll jump into what you should be doing now for 2018. And what I want to talk about is there was a big algorithm change, probably one of the biggest that Facebook has ever had. And it happened back in February, March timeframe of 2018. And what Facebook now rewards is group content and content for friends and family. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are penalizing business pages, but it just means that you have to be able to tap into that algorithm and show Facebook what they want to see, so that they will push your content. And what they want to see is engagement. And we'll get into that in just a second. What worked a few years ago, 1 or 2 years ago, is not really working this year anymore. And what that was kind of a quantity aspect. It used to be that you would post on your Facebook page multiple times per day, and that you also would share other people's content. So if you had found an article that you liked from someone else, or a blog post over here, or a resource, or a quote, you would put it on your Facebook business page, so that you were showing up more times a day, and Facebook would put that out multiple times. They would put out your page more times in the feed. Now, that's actually counterproductive now. What is productive, instead of that quantity aspect, is quality. And of course, that kind of makes sense, quality over quantity. But what Facebook wants to see from Facebook pages now is one quality post where your audience is interacting with it, rather than multiple posts per day. So how do we do that, and how do we boost engagement? I want you to think of engagement just as a conversation. What are we as therapists if we are not professional conversationalists? So think of the types of things that you do in session to spark conversation. Keep that going forward while we talk through these next tips. The first thing that you want to do when you're working on boosting your Facebook page engagement is posting at the right time. And this comes with a little caveat. So people and statistics are showing right now that the best time to post on Facebook based on engagement is the middle of the day and the middle of the week. Okay, so it's hump day, everyone's at work, they're getting bored, their productivity is dropping. Every 5 minutes they're hopping on Facebook to try and help them get through the day. So that's when we're seeing peak activity. But you need to think about your audience here and your ideal client here. If your ideal client is a stay-at-home mom, she's burnt out all week. She's not just burnt out in the middle of like Wednesday or Thursday afternoon. Okay, Wednesday or Thursday afternoon, she's probably at play date, or she's probably at swim team, or whatever she's doing. So you've got to think, when is she using Facebook? She's probably likely on in the evenings after bedtime, maybe in the mornings, before her kids wake up. Or if she has little ones at home, it might be in the afternoon during nap time. But you can see why you've got to keep your ideal client in mind, and you can't always go off of statistics, okay? But making sure that if you're only posting once a day, that you are posting at the appropriate times. And sometimes for a week or two, you've got to test different times and see which ones get the most engagement, most views, most likes. And then you can start go from a big, wide range of times down to your ideal perfect posting time, okay? The second tip is to make sure that you're asking questions. This goes back to that conversation starter. What conversations or what questions do you ask in session to start a conversation? Open-ended questions, right? Not yes or no questions. So just like you would in session, start thinking of these questions that might spark something in your ideal client, spark something who is visiting your Facebook page. Maybe you create a poll and you say, which of these most resonate with you? Option A, B, C, or D. That is really great engagement starter right there. Another thing to ask that is really working for engagement lately is those GIF videos. So you can say, how are you feeling today? Which is an open-ended question. And then you can say, respond in a GIF. And you'll start to see people have really funny ones. They'll like show, Homer Simpson snoring or whatever. But GIFs are a really great way to boost engagement when you ask questions, okay? The third thing is to be transparent. This is really hard for clinicians because it's kind of ethically gray. You've got to think about how you feel about self-disclosure in session. If you are a firm, hard no about any self-disclosure, then behind the scenes and transparency posts might be a little bit more difficult for you. But I want to say that consumers are looking for this. They want to hire people they know and people they like and people they trust. So transparency is an element of that. But there are ways to do it ethically. So the first question, like I said, is to ask yourself about self-disclosure. If you feel comfortable with self-disclosure in session in appropriate ways, then you can take that and apply that same principle to your Facebook business page. So perhaps you take a picture, you're working on notes or something like that. You can pull up the simple practice, welcome screen, obviously no client information, and you can hold up your mug of coffee in front of your screen and take a picture of it and say, this is what we're doing behind the scenes here, okay? That is a really great way to be transparent about your practice without, revealing anything about yourself that is personal information, crossing boundaries, and obviously without revealing anything about your clients. But you can still give ideal, social media followers a glimpse into what it is you do. Say that you are a EMDR therapist, you could take a picture of the light bar and say, this is the tool that we'll use. So a little bit of transparency, a little bit of like behind the curtain, right? Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Well, we want to let consumers see behind the curtain, just a little bit, okay? The fourth thing that really works with Facebook pages right now is to help that algorithm out, okay? And what I mean by this is timing is everything. So Facebook sees a post as valuable if it receives engagement within a short time frame. So some are saying that's 10 minutes, some are saying that's 5 minutes. I would err on the shorter side and just go with 5 minutes. They want to see a post have engagement within 5 minutes. If it doesn't, they discard it. They say, it's not valuable, it's not important. So here's a trick for that. If you are asking somebody to visit a link, like back to your website or back to a blog post that you've recently written, do not post it in the regular text. okay? Post your update, then 3 to 5 minutes later, come back to the post and put your link. Also, in the text where you're describing your post or the blog post that you're describing, don't say the words "click here." Okay? People will, or Facebook sees that automatically as promotion, and they don't want promotion right now. They want engagement right now. Granted, this algorithm could all change tomorrow, but this is what's working right now. So don't say "click here." Say something more like "check this out," or say something along those lines, and then come back and put your link in the comments. Okay, that gives Facebook that initial engagement within that short time frame, and they say, okay, this has a comment on it. They don't know the comments from you. They don't know what the comment says. It's just an algorithm. It's just math, right? So they say, all right, this one got a comment within the window. Let's put it out to more people. Okay. The same thing happens if somebody comments on your status or likes your status. Come back and reply to them. If they like it, write a comment that says, thanks for liking so-and-so. That, again, shows the algorithm this is getting engagement. People are interacting with this post. It doesn't matter that it's you interacting with the post, but you don't want to be like yucky and skeezy and just be like, obviously just liking your own stuff and commenting on your own stuff. It has to feel organic, it has to feel natural, but it has to have strategy with it as well. Okay, so anytime someone likes, replies, comments, shares, come back to your post and then write your own comment. Thanks for sharing, thanks for liking. Reply to any questions they ask. Reply to their GIFs that they answer with or that they post on your questions that you ask. Reply to their poll options. Just make sure that you're present there, and that will ensure that Facebook shows your post to more and more and more people. Okay? The last final tip for what is working for Facebook pages in 2018 is video. And I know this makes people really uncomfortable talking about being on camera and being on video. Of course, live video is going to get the most points. If this was like a scoring system, Facebook is going to give the most points for a live video. But you can also do a pre-recorded video and upload that. And in a pre-recorded video, you can show your face like I do, or you could do a slideshow where you are talking, still humanizing your practice, humanizing your brand. They don't have to see your face. I would say that's kind of like the third. That's like a lower point than a pre-recorded video with your face, and lower still than having a live video. And then another option is to use a software, something like Lumen 5, which I'll link to here under the blog post under this video, which takes blog posts that you've already written, and you can highlight text that you like, and you can put it on top of pictures. You can set it to music. It turns it into an automatic video for you. Okay, I would say that in regards to humanizing your brand is lowest on the scale, but it also still hits that video category. So if that's something that you are more comfortable with, you can automatically upload something like that and still see Facebook promote that through its algorithm. All right, so if you have any questions about this, inside the Online Marketing with Empathy Facebook group, we have a social strategy Saturday thread where we talk all about different social medias, platforms, profiles, what is working for them, what are some tips and tricks to maximize them. I'll also be coming out with more of these best practice videos, one for Facebook, or one for Instagram, one for Pinterest, one for different social media platforms. So stay tuned for those as well. Thanks.